All right, thank you very much. Sorry for the technical hitches. Some of these things. Okay, I think the issue was with my network. So let me change the network. Okay, sorry, I think the issue was my network. So I think we're back now. The issue was with my network. So I would trust that I will have a better flow now. Okay, good evening, everybody. You're on to Mamu with Jarvis, and Mamu with Jarvis tries to focus on giving you the exceptional mathematics experience, looking at maths from three major domains: arithmetic, algebra, and what? Geometry. We've had this for 3 days now. Today we'll make it day 4. And on this day, we'll be looking at an aspect of maths that borders around geometry. If you look at my board, I've written here geometry. And the topic we're going to consider is formal geometry. The sketch of this class is to try to stretch between grade 10 to grade 12. So this class is going to benefit grade 12, grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. And we will not be going in depth to explain the topic. We'll be focusing on answering WAEC NECO level questions. So if you're set for work today, we would hit the road. All right, so let's get down to work as we try to solve our questions today. Okay, so we will start. In the course of my class, I'm going to be dropping some important information. One of them will border around a Telegram page I've tried to set up, and I'll drop the link on the YouTube. So you may want to inconvenience yourself a little by going to my YouTube on the live chat and pick the Telegram chat over there. But straight away, we'll go into the business of today, formal geometry. Now, what is formal geometry? Formal geometry essentially talks about solving problems in plane shapes, especially the angles, by taking into consideration what is called deductive reasoning. Now, these reasonings are born out of established theorems. And some of these, a lot of these rules are drawn from the understanding of our constructions. Now, there are 4 aspects to geometry, at least the way we view it in the manual experience. There is trigonometry, there is formal geometry, there is a measuration, and there's one other aspect, which is construction. That's 4 major aspects to geometry. But today we're going to focus on formal geometry. Our first question paper of call today will be WAEC November 2004. So WAEC November 2004. We're looking at OBJ questions, essentially. I'll be looking at question number 6. So let's start with question number 6. Question number 6, we'll be required to draw a diagram. So let's see how we draw this diagram. Look at this. I'm going to be drawing and I'm going to be walking for a number of reasons. All right. And if you're drawing this, you must use your pencil. So this is what? 3x minus 50 degrees. And this one is x minus 10 degrees. And this is what? 2x. You're told that in the diagram, labeled P, T, Q, this is K, and this is Y. In the diagram, capital letter Y, sorry about that. In the diagram, P, T, Q, K, Y, that P, T, Q is a straight line. Now, when solving problems in formal geometry, you must pay attention to the details given to you. We're told that PTQ is a straight line. And one of the first rules you must remember in formal geometry is that the angle sum or the angles, some of the angles on a straight line is what? 180 degrees. So keep that in mind. So what that means is that if I add this value and this value, I'm going to have 180 degrees. So I'll start by saying 2x plus x minus 10 plus 3x minus 50 will be equal to 180 degrees. Now, what is the reason for this? If it were to be a theory exam, you need to tell us what angles on a straight line. Formal geometry is such an important aspect of math because it requires you giving what is called a reason for why you do what you want to do. You must give a reason for whatever you are doing, right? So with that settled, we can write this out. I'm going to have 2x plus x minus 10 plus 3x minus 50 equal to 180 degrees. All right. Look at this. I can say 2x plus x, that'll be 3x, plus 3x, that'll give me 6x. This is negative, this is negative. So 10 plus 50 will give me 60, but it will be what? Negative 60. Equal to what? 180 degrees. All right. Remember that the objective is to look for x. Now, there are two ways to go about looking for this. But in a classroom environment, I've taught my students to always be factor conscious. To be what? Factor conscious. If you look at all through these numbers given, 6 can divide this, 6 can divide this, 6 can divide this. So, because I'm not a calculator person, I will do that. This becomes x minus 10 equal to 30. And as such, this is a slave whom I want to make to be a king. So x will now be equal to what? 30 plus 10, and x will be equal to what? 40 degrees. Now, the question says we should find KTQ. Now, KTQ. The question did not say we should look for x. Finding x was only a means to solving the problem. So the question says we should look for what? KTQ. So angle KTQ will be equal to what? What is the value I can see in KTQ? This one, 3x minus 50. So I'll have 3x minus 50. I'll make relevant substitution. Wherever I see x, I'm going to put what? 40. So this will be 3 into 40 minus 50. What is 3 times 40? That will give me 120 minus what? 50. And if you do your subtraction right, this will give you 70 as your final answer in degrees. Now, when solving problems, as a standard practice now, worry less about the units, but ensure that at the end of the day, state the units. When solving problems, worry less about the units, but ensure that at the end of the day, you state the unit. So that's the first question. I'll allow you to take a breath or a break, and then we'll continue. So while you're taking a breath, I'll be drawing the next question. The next question is question 14. Okay, let's wait so that we can all do it together. And please note that this class is being recorded. So you have nothing to lose. Perhaps maybe you're not very fast. The class is recorded. So after the class, you can go back to my channel to rewatch. Okay, so if you are done with that, we can draw the next diagram, and I'll try to draw the next one. Now, this is what it looks like. I have one parallel line here. I have another parallel line here. These two lines are parallel. Remember that we cannot talk about parallel lines except we have at least two. So with that, I'm going to label, I have P here, I have Q here, I have arrow here, points. I have T here, I have S here. I think that's, then I have U here. Now, I'm told that the angle here is 40 degrees. I'm told that the angle here is 40 degrees. And I'm also told that the angle here is 95 degrees. Now, I am told to look for, angle arrow QT. Arrow QT. That's what I'm told to look for. Arrow QT. Arrow QT. So arrow QT will mean that I'm told to look for this angle. This is what the angle I'm asked to look for, this angle here. So I'm going to teach you a technique. This is where my work will begin in formal geometry. Now, the standard practice, or what I've tried to develop, is for you to say, using notations as a diagram. Once I've told my examiner this, it means anything I do from now, my examiner is bound to follow me. So I'm going to call here X. Let's watch. I know this angle. And if this line is parallel to this line, it means that I can easily get this angle. So let me call this angle Y. We'll come to analyze that later, but we'll get to see why that is possible. I can easily get this angle. Now, if this angle is X, an angle on a straight line is 180, it means that to get this one, I just need to remove X from 180. Okay, I need to do what? Remove X from 180. Let me clean that a little. So I need to remove X from what? 180. Now let me do an extract of this part of the diagram. So what you have is something like this. Let's watch. This is Y. This will now be 180 minus X. This is 40. Are we saying that? Now, this plus this will give me this angle. Now somebody asks, what is the reason for that? There's a rule in geometry that says the opposite interior angles will be equal to the exterior. So it means that this angle here will be equal to adding this to this. If I add this angle to this angle, I'm going to get this angle. So let's go back again. So if you look at my diagram here, I'm looking for this one. This is what I'm looking for. But I want to see how we connect this part to this part to this part. Now, I can connect this to this because these two lines are parallel. So I can say that Y is equal to 95 degrees. What is the reason for that? Corresponding angles. We call them F angles. If you look at this shape here, it looks like an F or like an F. Look at it. So this angle here is equal to this angle here. So we'll call them corresponding. As long as this line is parallel to this line, these two angles will correspond. So if that is understood, I will now tell my examiner corresponding angles and tell him that it is what? QT parallel to what? ROS. I must tell my examiner that if it's a theory question, because it's OBJ, nobody will check all of that. But for a theory question, you need to tell your examiner what you are doing, right? Now I've gotten this one. I can now connect this to this to this. So I will now say 40 plus 180 minus x will be equal to y. What is the reason for that? Exterior angle of, but more often than not, once you say exterior angle, the examiner understands what you mean. Exterior angle is exterior angle. This plus this will give me this. So it's an exterior angle relationship. 2 interior equal to the exterior. So just exterior angle. And from there, what is y? Y is 95. So I'm going to have 220 minus x equal to 95. This is a slave. And remember that we said yesterday that we cannot look for an unknown, or the unknown we are looking for must be such that the coefficient of that unknown is what? Positive. It is negative here, so we must restore that. I'm now going to bring x this way, slave becoming a king becoming a slave. So 220 minus 95. At this point, I can just find the answer, or I can rewrite. So I choose to rewrite x is equal to 220 minus 95. What will be the answer? This is basic arithmetic. You can use your calculator, you can do mental work. And my answer should be about 100 and is that 125. Please confirm for me. And that should be the answer, 125. That's what x will be equal to. And that's what we're looking for. So remember that it was I who said that x is this, so it's not the examiner. So I must come and say what? Angle ROQT is equal to 125. I must do that at the end of the day. It was I who told the examiner that that's what I'm talking about. The examiner does not know x. So at the end of the day, you must come to tell your examiner, if it's a theory question, that what? Angle ROQT is equal to what? 125 degrees. And with that, we have solved this question. All right, so let's catch our breath a little, and then we go to another one. All right, so we're done with that. I think we are done with questions from that year. So we will then go to another year now to see what it offers us. All right, so let's pick another question paper. Okay, there's one more. Question 22. Question number 22. There's one more from that year. Question number 22. So I want to clean everything now so I can have space to. Pardon me if it's quite fast. That's one of the reasons why this class is recorded, so that you can actually go back. You can go back and rewatch the class. That's why it's recorded. So let's look at question 23. Sorry about that, 23. And question 23, this is the diagram we have here. Look at it. And we are told that this is equal to this and is equal to this. Take note of that. And we are told that this angle here is what? 30 degrees. This angle is 30 degrees. This is Q. This is O. This is P. And this is L. Let's give us some time to draw that. I just posted the Telegram link. You can actually go to Telegram, Mamu with Jarvis on Telegram. And once you join, you're going to see the diagrams. I try to send them as snapshots. So you can go there and actually have a clear picture of the questions. All right. Okay. Now, so that's the diagram we have on the board. We are told to look for OPQ. This is what we're told to look for. So I'm going to call that point X. I'm going to call that point X. Now, please look at this diagram very well. Look at this diagram very well. Okay, that's why it's recorded. It's a recorded class, so you can always go back to rewatch the class. Look at this diagram very well. If you look at this diagram very well, OPQ is an isosceles triangle. Triangle OPQ is isos. Look at it. For an isosceles triangle, we expect if the opposite sides are equal, that means the bases are equal. Now also look at this. Triangle PLQ is also isos. PLQ is isos. So what do we expect? If this base is equal to this base, it means that this angle here, let me say I use another letter, let me call it Y. It means that this 30 degrees must be equal to what? Y must be equal to what? These two angles must be what? Equal. Are we saying that? Now, I can also call this Z, because base angles, this angle will be equal to this. If I call this angle Z, I can also call this Z. Why? Because the base angles are equal. I'll come again. This is an isosceles triangle. So these two angles must be equal. This is another isosceles triangle. These two angles must be equal. So if that is understood, I can say that Y is equal to 30 degrees. Remember, I'm starting with the mindset that we are doing theory. If we're to be OBJ, I will just fly. But I want to also help you in case this kind of question comes up in a theory exam. Now, Y is equal to 30. What that will mean is that the reason for that, which is very important to state, will be what? Base angles of isos triangle. Now, specify the triangle you are talking about. It is PLQ. That's the triangle I'm dealing with. PLQ. So with that said, remember, I can say that Y plus 30 is equal to Z. Y plus 30 is equal to Z. Y plus 30 is equal to Z. Opposite interior angle is equal to the exterior. With respect to this triangle, this is the exterior angle. So I will say that what is Y? It is 30. So this will be 30 plus 30 equal to Z. Remember, state your reason, exterior angle. So Z will be equal to what? 60 degrees. Now, I've gotten Z as 60. What would this angle be? It will still be 60. Is that not? So I now have to look for what? X. So I can say X plus Z is equal to 180 degrees. And what's the reason for that? Angles on a straight line. Angles on a straight line is what? 180 degrees. So I will have X plus 60 equal to 180 degrees. So X will now be equal to what? 180, or let's take it gradually, plus 120 will be equal to 180 degrees. So X will now be equal to 180 minus 120, and X will be equal to 60 degrees. So what is X? Remember that it was you who said X is this one. Now, X is actually equal to angle OPQ, because that's what we're told to look for, OPQ, and that will be equal to what? 60 degrees. Now, in a theory exam, I just want to hit something extra. you can be asked, what type of triangle is OPQ? Because I started by telling you that it was isosceles based on the information I had. Now, what type of triangle exists such that all the angles are equal? Can we get a response on the chat? Because it's not just for you to solve the questions, you must be able to make deductions. So if this is 60, and this is 60, and this is 60, what type of triangle am I having? What type of triangle is OPQ? Can I get a chat, a response from the chat, and possibly a response from our YouTube, those watching on YouTube? What type of triangle would this be? We're waiting. Beautiful, very good. It's called what? And beautiful. Equilateral, beautiful, awesome. It's called what? An equilateral triangle. Yes. So if I were setting this as a theory question, I could finish that and I would ask you, what type of triangle is OPQ? And that's the way Cambridge sets question. That's the way they set question. And it's a very cheap question, and I expect us all to get it. So we're done with that, and we're through with 2004. So let's pick another question. Let's pick November 1998. November 1998. So I'll clean off November 1998. So this is also WAEC, but this time around it is what? 1998, and then it's also an OBJ exam. So I'll walk through the pages and pick out the questions that relate to that. Okay, I've actually marked them, but just want to show if there's one I had missed previously. Okay, now it says find the sum of the sides of a regular polygon. The key word there, find the number of sides of a regular polygon if each interior angle is 165 degrees. Find the number of sides of a regular polygon if each interior angle is 165 degrees. There are two ways to solve this question. There are two ways. I'm going to show you the two methods now. Method one. Method two. One of the reasons why you are fast in an OBJ exam is that you have knowledge. You have knowledge of the subject matter. You have knowledge. So the first method I will use for me is the fastest. Now, for any regular polygon, or let's say for any polygon, each side is given by each. Now, let me draw a diagram on the board so you can relate with what I'm going to do. Please, let's watch. This is a regular polygon, and I'm going to label it interior, exterior, interior, exterior, interior, exterior, interior, exterior, interior, exterior. Now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a five-sided polygon. Now, for this polygon, what you're going to realize is that angle on a straight line is 180, is that not? So it means that the interior angle plus the exterior angle must be equal to what? 180 degrees. Why? Angle on a straight line. So if the polygon is regular, meaning all the sides and the angles are equal, it would mean that for any corner I look at, the interior and the exterior angle must be equal. Any corner I pick. So for a regular polygon, how do I get the exterior angle? I'll make the exterior angle the subject of the formula. So exterior angle will be equal to 180 minus the interior angle. And by the question, we are told that the interior angle is what? 165 degrees. So 180 minus 165 degrees, and that will give me what? 15 degrees. Now, there is another principle you need to remember. It states that the sum of the exterior angles of any polygon is what? 360 degrees. If you like, let this polygon have 25 sides. If I sum their exterior angles, if I sum all of this, it must give me what? 360 degrees. So for a regular polygon, if the polygon is regular, it will mean that the number of sides, which we usually call n, will be equal to what? 360 divided by the exterior angle. So what is the exterior angle here? It's 15. So this will be 360 divided by 15. So what will be our final answer? I'll divide with 3. This will give me 5. This will give me 120. I'm right with that. 5 go here 1, 5 go here 24. So this polygon will have what? 24 sides. This polygon is going to have 24 sides. This is method 1. There is a method 2. Method 2 says that 2n minus 4 times 90 divided by, because it's a regular polygon, it means all the sides will be equal. Divided by n must be equal to what? 165. So the interior angle is equal to 2n minus 4 angles, right angles over n. Some writers will say n minus 2 180 over n is equal to 165. Now, what this writer is saying is the same thing as this. This refers to number of angles. This refers to number of triangles, available triangles. All right. So whichever formula you want to use, you arrive at the same answer. But let's say we're going to use this. Now, what does that mean? I'm going to, this is a slave, becomes what? A king. So this will be 180 into n minus 2 equal to what? 165n. Now, we multiply out. 180n minus 360 will be equal to what? 165n. Is that not? So 180n minus 165n. How did I get that? A king becoming a slave will be equal to a slave becoming a king. If you subtract this, you're going to get 15n. Is that not? And that will give you 360. So which means n will be equal to 360 divided by 15. So you discover that this is the same thing as what we have done here. And this will give me what? 24 degrees, 24 sides. If you solve and you finish that one out. So whichever method you are using, you must arrive at the same answer. Me, I prefer this method because I've been using it for, and this method is very effective for OBJ, especially where you don't want to write so much. When you don't want to write so much, I can do this mentally, and in 30 seconds, I will get my answer. Sometimes even 15 seconds. But this will require you to do a lot of writing. But however, whichever method you remember, use it properly. Okay? All right, so I was just trying to ensure that that was the last question there. So I'll come to, this one is a theory question. Let me try to confirm where I saw that. All right, this is a theory question from WAEC 2016. So let's look at how that one would pan out. We're going to draw, so You're going to draw, so you really would need to get ready to draw. So let me give us some time to catch our breaths, so that those of us who are writing will be able to write down. Right, this is WAEC 2016 theory question 8A. Question 8A. Question 8A. All right. Okay, question 8A. So let's look at that. Now, we're going to try to draw the diagram. We're going to try to draw the diagram. So we're going to have something like this. So this is X, this is Y. This point is capital letter M. Remember that we represent angles. To write them inside, we use small letters. Okay, this is R. Then this is J. This is H. This is G, and this is F. This angle is 110 degrees, and this is K, and this is L. Okay, one of my standard practice when I solve online is I try as much as possible not to solve the question before I come to teach. And I do that for a number of reasons. I want to see if I'm in an examination setup, how quickly can I get the problem solved? So if because of solving, I get stuck, I'm only trying to simulate a real examination environment for you, right? So this is what we have as a diagram. We are told that angle KLM is X, angle LMK is Y. We are told that angle KJH is R. And we are told that angle KGF is 110 degrees. We are given another interesting information that 2x is equal to R and is equal to Y. All right. So, like I said before, whenever you start solving a problem like this, start by saying using notations as in diagram. Once you said this, you can begin to introduce the letters you want to introduce. But at the end of the day, make sure you give your answer in the specification of the examiner. All right, so we are told to look for the value of X. We're told to look for this. So where do I start from? Now look at this carefully because I want you to look at the diagram. I want to critique the diagram. If this is 110, I want you to consider in grade 12 triangle JKG. Consider this triangle because that's the triangle I'm going to use to solve and finish out my work. JKG. Now, I can get this angle here. I need to get this angle here. So let me call that angle A. I need to get this angle here. Let me call that angle B. Are you with me? A, B, and I know this to be what? R. So how do I get A? A plus 110 will be equal to 180. What is the reason? Angles on a straight line. These two angles are angles on a straight line. So with that, I can get that A will be equal to 180 minus 110, which will mean that A will be equal to 70 degrees. Is that okay? Now, I've taken care of this. So I will proceed now to try to obtain the other angles. Now, this is 70 degrees. Okay, now, how do I obtain B? Look at it. B will be equal to X plus Y. Notice that the property we have been playing with is always playing out. B will be equal to what? X plus Y. The interior opposite angles will be equal to the exterior angles. If I consider this triangle KLM, if I consider the triangle KLM, you discover that these two interior angles will be equal to this exterior angle. Beautiful. Now, if we have done that, we'll state the reason. Exterior angle. Beautiful. Now, we can now treat all three items together. I can say that arrow plus B plus A is equal to 180 degrees. What these three angles make up a triangle. What triangle is that? K or J, K, G. So arrow plus B plus A is equal to this. So what would the reason be? Angle sum of triangle. I would just want to specify JKG. JKG. I just want to specify in case my examiner is a very critical person. All right. Now, what is B? X plus Y. This will be what is B? X plus Y. So arrow plus X plus Y plus what is A? A is what? 70 will be equal to 180 degrees. So it means that arrow plus X plus Y will be equal to 180 minus 70. Meaning that arrow plus X plus Y will be equal to what? 110 degrees. Okay, I think from what I'm seeing, there would have been a shorter way to go on that. Fine. There's a shorter way to go on that, but it's an examination setup, and this was one I was able to remember. Fine. Okay. Recall that you were told that, 2R is equal to X and is equal to 2X is equal to R and is equal to Y. That's what you're told. What does this mean? It means R is equal to 2X and Y is equal to what? 2X. R is equal to 2X, Y is equal to 2X. So we make substitutions here. Where I see R, I'll put 2X plus X. Where I see Y, I'll put what? 2X equal to 110. Add up everything here, you're going to get 5X equal to what? 110. So what is X? I'll divide both sides by 5, and X will be equal to 22 degrees. Now, I was saying that there's a shorter way to do this. I didn't see it when I was solving, but that's usually how the exam thing goes. But what's most important is that as you keep practicing, you're going to discover even more shorter, or rather, you discover shorter ways to get the problem done. All right, so that settles that. We're through with this question. A shorter way would have been to say B plus R is equal to 110. What is B? X plus Y. I seen that. So all this, some of the work I had done here would have just started from here. I would have just proceeded, but there's no problem. That's how this ministry goes. As you keep practicing, you get to do what? You get to improve, right? So that's that for 2016. So let's go to another year and see what that year has to offer us. Okay. All right. All right. I found the next question. So just give us a minute or two to catch our breath, and then we will proceed. All right, so let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next. I'm trusting the next one is not so, I don't think the next one will be very demanding, but who knows? Right, I'll just keep that part ready in case I'll need it. All right, so the question says, the ratio of the interior angle to the exterior angle of a regular polygon. Take note of that statement. Okay, sorry about that. I have not told you the year we are solving. It's actually June. Okay, I said WAEC. This is June 2016, and it's a theory question number 3A. All right. It said the ratio of the interior angle to the exterior angle of a regular polygon is 5:2. Find the number of sides of the polygon. Wonderful. So how do we solve a question like this? So we know from what I told you that for any regular polygon, the interior angle plus the exterior angle must be equal to 180 degrees. The interior angle plus the exterior angle must be equal to 180 degrees at any position. Okay, that's even for any polygon. But if it's regular, it means that the same thing that applies to this will apply to this. Now, we are told that the ratio, so we can say, let the interior angle be x. We can say let the interior angle be what? X. So if the interior angle is x, it means that x plus the exterior angle will be equal to 180 degrees. So what would the exterior angle be? It will be what? 180 minus x. Now we are told that the ratio of the interior angle to the exterior is 5:2. It means that the interior over the exterior will be equal to 5/2. Now somebody is asking, how come you're using 5/2? Why not 5:2? Recall that a fraction is also a ratio. A fraction is just another way of expressing a ratio, just as a ratio is another way of expressing a fraction. So take note of that. So that's the reason why what I've written on the board is spot on. Okay. Now, with that said, I can say that this is a servant, it must become a king, so that will be 2x. This is a servant, it must become a king. This will be equal to 5 into what? 180 minus x. So what do? We can open up. This will be 2x equal to 5,900. What? Minus 5x. So that means that 2x plus 5x will be equal to 900. I got that right. and 7x will be equal to 900. So what is x? X, which is the interior angle, will be equal to 900 over 7. All right. All right. I define the interior angle as that. Okay, maybe I should have defined it in the other way because I'm already foreseeing a certain, well, there's no problem. We'll always arrive at the same answer. Now, look at this. We had said earlier that if this is the exterior angle, if this is the interior angle rather, it will mean that the exterior angle will be equal to what? 180 minus what? 900 over 7. Maybe I should say minus x first, so that you know where I'm getting this minus 900 over 7. I'll keep that. Please don't be bothered about what you are seeing there. Just leave that first. Now, we had told you something earlier that for a regular polygon, the number of sides is equal to what? 360 divided by the exterior angle. So what do? This will be 360 all over. What's the exterior angle? This value, 180 minus 900 over 7. So I can take LCM of both sides. This will be 360. Your calculator will come in handy here. There's another way I would have solved it, but if I'd realized this earlier, I would have gone in the other method so that I don't play with too big a figure. All right, so this will be 7 times 180, and that will give me what? 6. That should give me 1, 2. Okay, that's 1,260 minus 900 all over 7. So what's the implication of this? This part, I can subtract this part. So I'm going to have 360 divided by what? This would be, what would that be? That should be 360 if I'm right, over 7. Are we saying that? Now, this can cancel this. This is a numerator. This is a denominator. This is a numerator. Or if this does not appeal to you, let's use another method. This will be equal to 360 divided by, what's this answer here? 360 divided by 7. So what would that be? 360 times 7 over 360. And when you cancel out, the answer is 7. So for this figure, the answer is what? 7 sides. Okay, I'll pause. If there's a challenge with, if you have an issue with any aspect of what I've done, just drop a chat and I'll look at that quickly. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, so that's the solution to this one. I don't know if you have any issues with the question. If you have any issue with the question, and so sorry. For some of us, we are joining with Zoom, and Zoom after 40 minutes will lock you out. That's why I have created the. I've tried to factor this challenge. That's why I've created the. What they call it, the YouTube channel. So you can, with what I've sent to you, you can use the YouTube link. Go to the YouTube so that you're not coming in and out. My subscription is paid, so I can have this class for as long as I want. So if you're having this challenge with locking you out and in, I didn't factor this in, sorry about that. Go use the YouTube channel. Use the YouTube channel. It's the same experience. The same experience. It has chats. You can easily do what? Chat me if there's a challenge. So sorry about that. And maybe what we will do now, when we start the class, we'll give ourselves like 30 to 40 minutes, and then we allow those who are on Zoom to adjust themselves better. But for in the long run or in the long term, please use the YouTube channel. All right. I think that's how much we can take for today. Like I promised, I'm already developing the 3 topics we've considered, or 4 topics we've considered. I'm already preparing problems, already solving problems on all of these topics. So you will see them posted on YouTube. And as an added one, from next week, I'm going to start in a project that I'm going to be calling Midnight Sun. Midnight Sun. Midnight Sun. It's going to be a class that will be running every day from 8 to 9 or 9 to 10. That's the idea. A live class. So anybody who can gain access to who can keep awake to that time, it's going to run Monday to Friday. Mondays to Friday. So if you can join at 8 or at 9, I'll get us the exact timing based on opinion pool I'm going to gather. 8 to 9 or 9 to 10. That's what I'm looking at. So if you miss the class, there's no problem. The next day, just go to my YouTube channel and rewatch the class. Rewatch the class. We are very particular this year to ensure that our grade 9 and our grade 12 students who are patronizing us on this platform are taught well and are prepared well. Special thanks to one of our lovely parents who has made today's experience a nice one. In fact, he bought us data, or he bought me data, so I can have this class running. Special thanks to you, sir. I can't mention your name because I know you wouldn't want me to do that. Thank you, sir. And we are appreciative of the effort you're putting in to ensure that we make our children better at mathematics. So I'm going to release us now, and tomorrow we'll continue by 8 o'clock. Please, for tomorrow's class, we're going to stretch a little, so let's prepare our minds. Tomorrow's class is going to be for 1 hour, 30 minutes, because what we're going to cover is going to be much. So if you're going to have issue with your Zoom, just join us in the YouTube channel, and I'm trusting everything will pan out well. Do have a blessed night, and see you